Okay, welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I have been asked by Lindsay to do a reading specifically for the whole year because yesterday I did a 12-month reading for myself and she apparently has always wanted one, so here we go. I need to remind everyone that I have no psychic ability. I have no magic powers, nothing. I just like to do this. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt and realize that if you need actual spiritual guidance, you need to find someone else. But, I'm trying to channel Lindsay, and since I know her pretty well, I'm not really having to work that hard. I'm just thinking about Lindsay and the year ahead. I don't know. Trying to be serious about it. Even though, Lindsay, you have a lot more faith in my tarot reading ability than I do. So, just be honest with yourself before you follow any of my advice. See, I still don't think it's done. Sometimes you, shuffle and still, you're like, not feeling it yet. Keep shuffling. This part really wants to come back. Okay. I like to shuffle it until it doesn't split anymore, which might be ridiculous, but it works for me, and if it works for me, then who cares if it works for you? Okay, so now I've got the deck. I'm going to read April through March, so this month through next March. And so there will be one card for each month, and I'm just going to pull straight off the top because that's what I did yesterday. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So, and I am reading only upright. Mostly because I've been feeling really attached to this book, and it only has upright information. So, I've made sure that I warned the cards ahead of time that I wasn't going to read them reversed, so I know this sounds ridiculous to some people. If it sounds ridiculous to you, then maybe just click away. Okay, so this month we have the Eight of Stones, or the Eight of Pentacles. You can see. Hello. He looks very hungry. April, May, Six of Bows, which is Six of Wands. June, we've got the Five of Cups, just ecstasy in this deck. We've got the Six of Cups, that's 2 cups in a row. The Page of Bows, which is the Page of Wands. The Ace of Bows, you got a lot of bows coming up, girl. The Nine of Bows, Lindsay, what is up with this suit? The King of Pentacles, what is that? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November is the King of Stones. The Nine of Stones for December. Both of those are they look cold. I don't know. It's just funny, maybe just to me. Then you got the Three of Pentacles for January. Then the Three of Arrows, which is the Three of Swords for February. And then the Four of Arrows, which is the Four of Swords for March. So, very interesting year ahead of you. I don't know what to tell you quite yet, so give me a hot second. So the Eight of Pentacles, or the Eight of Stones. Okay. Since human beings first walked the earth, we have honed and practiced our skills in all manner of practical and esoteric arts. We have the awareness and self-discipline to develop new skills, to meet new challenges, and have overcome nature's most adverse and deadly conditions. Whether it was the life-saving and practical skills required to track and bring down sometimes dangerous game for food, or the growing and managing of crops for the good of the tribe or village, human beings have continually striven to invent new social frameworks, scientific or philosophical concepts, and practical tools and equipment. Such discoveries require us to master new skills for the betterment of the tribe or society. This unique human ability requires patience, perseverance, and most of all, self-discipline. Acquiring a skill that involves imagination and artistic flair requires time spent learning and defining the nature of self-expression. The mastery of any skill requires you to call on the divine to bless the effort and energy expended in the process. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this month is about learning a new skill. That sounds obvious. But it also sounds like a skill that's not just for you personally. It sounds like a skill that hopefully benefits your family, society, your neighborhood. It's not just about you, but it is a new skill that you're going to have to learn. So keep me updated on what that skill is. Then we've got the Six of Bows for next month. Oh, just turned to it. The wheel turns and the time to enjoy the fruits and rewards of the summer season has arrived. Patience acknowledges the plentiful bounty which delivers the gifts and rewards for your efforts. Now is the time to allow this generous feeling of well-being to flow freely through and around you and to enjoy the pleasures and sustenance these healing and revitalizing gifts can offer. Sometimes after a period of stress and hard struggle, the process of healthy relaxation is vital to rearm and re-energize the spirit in preparation for the challenges of the coming winter. The joy of sharing and giving your own abundance with others is also a natural part of the process and brings its own inner peace and satisfaction. Your generous gifts to others will bring solace during the coming seasons and remind everyone that the wheel continues to turn on its inevitable and stoical journey. Give thanks and accept the blessings of the changes that occur in life at this time. We share the bounty of the forest and commune with the wildwood denizens in our everyday life. I never know whether to say commune or commune. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure Lindsay will have opinions. So it sounds positive, and Lindsay, you're gonna go, no way that's gonna be my life. LOL, lols, not happening. But even if your life next month doesn't feel like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed with so many wonderful things and I've never been happier, it seems like that may be kind of a fake it till you make it deal, where you sit there and you may not feel that way, but you give of your time and energy, and you make a conscious effort to believe that that's going to happen, and hopefully it will actually happen, if only for a day, That's all we can ask for. So we've got June as the Five of Vessels, and that is right here. Many avenues are open to the wanderer to commune intimately and ecstatically with great beauty or to be intoxicated by an intensely personal connection with the divine. Music, meditation, art, love, dancing, or a profound sexual experience can inspire and induce the sacred trance of enlightening ecstasy. This powerful and euphoric awareness is utterly natural and a well-established aspect of shamanic traditions. States of ecstatic trance can sometimes be triggered by extreme physical exertion, or the quiescence? I've never heard that word, ever, of the superficial consciousness, as to gain access to a deeper and more profound comprehension of everything. Sadly, the concept of spiritual ecstasy has been damaged by the common use of drugs that imitate, for a short time, the endorphin rush of an authentic and natural ecstasy. The ecstatic trance has been described as a delightful possession or mysterious union with a timeless exuberance. The fusing of the spiritual being with a profound and loving universal mind elevates the soul to the space between spaces where poetry breathes through you and exaltation and stillness effortlessly coexist. You know, it actually does seem like something is going to improve. So you've got, like, you're working on a skill this month, then next month it seems like things are getting better, and damn girl, in June, I don't know, that's hard to misinterpret. It sounds very clear that there are going to be some good spiritual times. I am getting kind of a creative vibe, and I know that you don't really consider yourself to be creative, but I'm wondering if maybe you're thinking of picking up some kind of creative hobby, or I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Then the Six of Vessels. Oh, that's right here. An emotional reunion can sometimes refer to the mystical karmic cycles that bring lovers back through time, space, and lifetimes. The purpose of this soul reunion may be manifold, but it can be to complete unfinished business, or to teach new lessons from old actions or wrong choices. It can also refer to the coming together of a band of comrades, tribal or clan members, a brotherhood of loyal friends, gathering for the acknowledgement of their shared bond. It may also refer to the reunion of the individual with their own true nature in terms of a forgotten or rejected history or experience. By meditating on a past issue with new wisdom and insight, and an acceptance of personal responsibility and forgiveness, reclamation may take place. A spiritual re-amalgamation, oh my god, of a facet of the individual's personality for the purposes of clearing and self-empowerment may be possible, and a healthy union in the soul the result. Reassurance is gained from a reunion of this nature, revealing whether the correct path was taken and your decisions were based on valid and honest instincts and motivations. To be honest, I have no idea what this means for July. I'm hoping it means we'll hang out. A band of brothers, brotherhood of loyal friends. My guess is, while we will hang out in July, I still don't know what this means. So come July, we may have to revisit this and figure out what it meant. Then August, we've got the Page of Bows. Now we're getting into our bows. Seems like that's several in a row. Page of Bows. Often, you're seen as an emissary, and as such, your gifts are widely recognized and honored. Your ability to perceive the truth in almost any matter is vastly helpful, and your freedom of spirit makes you out as an original and unique personality. I mean, I think sometimes you don't realize how people actually perceive you, and maybe you think, I don't know, that you're not as valuable as you actually are. Um, and girl, you do see the truth a lot of the time. You're like, excuse you, but that's not legal. That ain't right. I know the law. I know the rules. I know how this should be done. And I don't know. I think maybe, what is this? April, May, June, July, August. It may just be a time to recognize yourself as like extremely valuable. Just take that month and say, I know. And to really believe it, not just to use it as some sort of front, but to really believe that you're valuable because you are. Then the Ace of Bows, which is next. What is that? September. Okay. By shaping, directing, and persevering with the tool that both hunts and nurtures fire, we kindle the spark that starts the process of creation and empowerment. This takes skill, effort, commitment, and persistence, but the universe always responds with enlightenment, challenge, and opportunity. This is the nature of the human relationship with creation, and leads to a deeper awareness of the part we must play in the grand scheme of things. Harnessing the energy inherent in the bow, and the skill and endurance needed to loose the hunter's arrows accurately and efficiently, are as primal and ancient as human existence itself. Every native tribe on Earth developed the bow as a tool, and choosing, shaping, and tuning the bow, stave, and arrows is a time-consuming and demanding craft that hones our skills and widens our knowledge of all the materials required in this ancient art. This also includes the habits and patterns of nature associated with the prey the hunter seeks, and may infuse the archer with a new respect and reverence for the creatures that inhabit the wildwood. Be prepared to learn new skills, adapt to a changing environment, and focus and tune your instincts to the task at hand. Sounds like more learning. But I also feel like maybe August is preparation for September. There's something that you're going to do in September, and maybe it's hard. Maybe it's going to be like a difficult skill to learn. But because you prepared in August by learning about the value of yourself and learning about your potential and how amazing it is, and how skilled you are already, that you know that you're up to this challenge in September, and you complete it with grace, as you do all things. So October, we've got the 9 of Bows. Ooh, that's some sketchy art right there. Look at that. He's a scary dude. So the 9 of Bows, again with the bows. We're going to the end of the suit though. Alright. To follow the path through the wildwood is not without its challenges and demands. When entering any such environment, one must be prepared to face the dangers and natural perils that abide there. Having empathy for the environment and being ready to deal with it respectfully and in a practical manner is to learn another lesson and take away fresh insight. If we look deeper for meaning in the forces blocking our way, we often see how we have contributed to the problem and how we attracted these negative energies through lack of self-discipline or mistakes made in the past. The sign of an evolved spirit is someone who can acknowledge past failures or defeats without bitterness and self-torment, and move forward through life with a positive outlook and wisdom gathered through struggle. The Wood Woes reminds us to treat the challenges of the wildwood with patience and compassion, marking each scar or wound suffered during the struggle as a badge of honor, earned and overcome by inner courage, dedication, and faith in the lore of natural justice. I mean, you've overcome a lot of challenges. And I think everyone's life includes a lot of challenges, but yours particularly has had significant challenges. And you've met them and you've faced them. And, you know that they don't really end, but they all bring you closer and closer to your goal self. I don't know how to describe that, like the self you were meant to be. And I think October is about reminding yourself that to be an involved spirit, it says the sign of an involved spirit is someone who can acknowledge past failures or defeats without bitterness and self-torment and move forward through life with a positive outlook and wisdom gathered through struggle. I think acknowledging that in October is extremely important. Don't know why, because I'm not a psychic, but I can imagine that it's going to be very important. So the King of Stones. Let's hit up the King of Stones, which is the King of Pentacles, if you're literally anyone else who's trying to follow along, which feel free, but don't learn from me. The King of Stones. Love of the land and of the natural world guides much of what you do. You often look to the wisdom of others and to traditional values to color your life choices. Security brings pleasure. Loyalty crowns every endeavor. Love of the land and of the natural world guides much of what you do. You often look to the wisdom of others and to traditional values to color your life choices. To be honest, Lindsay, this doesn't sound like you at all. It doesn't sound anything like you. I know you like nature, but when are you ever out in nature? And you often look to the wisdom of others. Sure, like you ask for advice, but to traditional values to color your life choices? I don't know what this month means at all. So what is this, November? Yeah, November. It does have to do with, like, being comfortable in the dark and cold of winter. Because if you'll look at it, it's very snowy. But I just don't understand that. So we'll always have to wait and see what life brings. The Nine of Stones. Dang, you just keep getting 3 in a row. You've got, like, phases. Nine of Stones for December. Whenever we reach back into antiquity, with sincere reverence and respect, seeking insight and wisdom, we commune directly with both the esoteric and practical memory of the human species. The myths, rituals, and traditions of past tribes remain imprinted on the human psyche. Whether you believe this to be the effect of morphic resonance, why do they write it like this? Or the spiritual echo of past lives dedicated to the reverence of the other world, the mystical traditions have a real purpose and meaning that you can draw upon, even in our frantic modern world. Through the study of ancient mystical traditions, we see how closely linked we are with the past and how little we have changed as a species. We are still driven by the primal needs and fears that faced the first humans. We still look at the night sky with wonder and awe. We still look at the ocean and feel the pull of the unknown. To reach back and invite past traditions to enlighten and enrich your life is to draw on ancient strengths that are freely available to those seeking wisdom, sustenance, and consolation. Okay, so this may clarify November a little for me, just because it might not be about how you are now in April, but November and December almost feel like, in a very natural, like wintry way, you're looking more inwardly, more toward spiritual things, and discovering that maybe you're more interested in spiritual matters then than you have been in the past. More interested in traditions and rituals. I don't know how interested you'll be in rituals, but in traditions and traditional thinking. And that could be any tradition. It could be pagan, it could be Christian, it could be Hindu. Lord only knows, girl. Go with your gut. Then January is the Three of Stones. The practical manifestation of creative energy requires a clear and open channel to the inspirational forces and impulses of the universe. Allowing this energy to flow through you is a rich and rewarding gift in itself. Just as releasing your dreams and desires into the universal consciousness always brings a response, so the releasing of creative energy invites into the artist the healing and enriching fuel from which further insight and visionary stimulus flows. This emotional and spiritual relationship with divine inspiration allows the subconscious mind to delve deeply and summons the intuitively creative power that actualizes work. Artistic beauty takes many forms and presents itself in a variety of ways, but the relationship with the subconscious formative energy, whether through music, painting, sculpture, or poetry, or, anything else, reminds us of the personal and intimate connection we all should share with the universal consciousness. I think, of course, because these are all part of the same suit, they're a continuation of one another. So I think legitimately all of winter, basically, apart from February, which we haven't gotten to yet, all of winter seems to be related to spirituality. And so I don't know what that will mean for what actually happens then, but I think if you really let yourself be interested in those things, then you'll probably find out why. We've got the Three of Arrows, which is the Three of Swords. Three of Arrows. There's the Knight, there's the Queen, there's the Ace, there's the Three. The origins of jealousy can be infinitely varied, uniquely subjective, and deeply rooted in socioeconomic or psychological soil. But whether born of a broken heart, a broken dream, or a broken economic system, beware of surrendering humility and forgiveness to feelings of envy or jealousy. The most commonly associated emotional drive linked to jealousy is loss. However perceived by the individual, it behooves both the victim of jealousy and the subject suffering feelings of envy to look deeply into the nature of their own motives and responsibilities. For the jealous or possessive, there is also sometimes a feeling of entitlement attached to the issue. This can be attributed to concepts of social or familial expectations born of ill-conceived peer guidance, or the failure to enforce social responsibilities and parameters. As we mature, we discover that there will always be someone who seems to have more, or is gifted with copious good fortune. The healing balm for envy is humility, acceptance, and forgiveness, even in the face of bitter rivalry and anger, just as the constant refocusing of your energy into a positive and creative momentum in your life is the best healer for the effects of jealousy. I don't know what's going to happen in February, but I don't think you're going to like it. It's not something that's happening to you, but I think maybe it's something you would like to be happening to you and isn't. So I don't know what February holds, but you're going to have to think hard about why you feel entitled to the thing that someone else is getting that you're not getting, and you're going to have to try to channel that emotion into something positive, or you're going to lose your heckin' mind. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? That's a scary card. Then the Four of Arrows, which is rest. Look at these two next to each other. Look at those next to each other. That's crazy. You've got February over here and March over here. I'm very interested in what Four of Arrows has to say. In this stressful and demanding world, we sometimes forget that rest is a necessary part of a healthy lifestyle, and sleep is a vital part of recuperation and the healing process. This primal mechanism is not just for the well-being of the body, but the mind and imagination as well. Muscles need time to repair and rebuild after strenuous exertion, and the functions of the human psyche need dreams and deep sleep to aid the process, bringing order to what sometimes seems the chaos and random machinations of daily life. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sometimes inspiration and insight can also come through restful meditation and lucid dreaming. Who doesn't want a lucid dream? Welcome these insights joyfully and take note of what your subconscious is saying to you. One of the first human instincts when confronted with a survival situation in any wild environment is to find or build a shelter to provide protection from the elements and act as a safe place to rest and sleep in safety. Without that basic human security requirement, survivors often become disoriented, make poor decisions, and become unable to physically complete simple and necessary tasks, eventually losing hope. Rest and sleep are vital to restore stamina and vitality. I think maybe February threw you off a little, or a lot, and you forgot maybe to take care of yourself, and so March, you really need to remember to back up, slow down, and take care of yourself. Rest. Be kind to yourself. And so life comes in waves, and I'm curious about what next April has to say, so I'm going to pull another card. Is that okay? Because February just doesn't sound fun. Or March doesn't sound fun. February doesn't either. Next April is the Five of Bows. Where are we going? The mastery of any skill or discipline enables empowerment for clear and decisive mental processes, and the arrows of one's desires and wishes can be loosed at destiny with positive effect. The time of self-empowerment by seizing the initiative is here. By channeling primal, fertile, and protective energies, the individual can evolve a grounded and assertive mindset and utilize this for effective growth and change. This is true not only for the individual, but also for society. It is the meaning of achieving one's destiny as a matter of choice, not chance. The act of observing the particle changes the particle, and this raw dynamic life force can be focused and deployed to influence situations in the practical world. Empowerment Empowerment enables the individual to overcome negative self-images or destructive emotional addictions and increases confidence by overcoming stigma or social handicaps. Empowerment is the key to the attainment of one's destiny and the feeling of spiritual fulfillment through a proactive and positive attitude to life. This is the card I was hoping for this month. It seems like you kind of take February to recover. You take March to recover from February, because February throws you off a little bit, and life just throws you off a little bit in general. But then April, things really move in a positive direction, and that's what I was hoping for, and so I'm glad to see it. That's your year, and I hope it means something to you, and I hope I didn't totally screw it up, but, yeah, there you go. So happy Tarot Tuesday, and we're done.